Greetings, hi, and hello everyone. My name is Jason Petit-Frere. I'm a speaker, I'm a podcaster, and my life's work is centered around allowing the world to meet the true you by helping you think, speak, and eventually live better than yesterday. We do this first by establishing a good reason why, a strong and powerful motivation to keep going when the going gets rough. Second, we need awareness and acknowledgement of what's holding us back. And third, we need scalable steps forward as a reliable bridge between who we are right now and who we need to be tomorrow and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. This, my friends, is how you go from stuck to thinking as, speaking as, and living as the true you. It has been quite the crazy adventure, honestly. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I still managed to make it somehow. It's unfortunate that I have not been able to maintain the 7 a.m. every Friday streak that was going. We kept it strong for 16 episodes, I guess. But I do not count this as a failure. I count this as a lesson learned in that, or at least a home lesson, learned in homeschool, obviously, with the theme I've been going with, the title of these episodes. And that lesson is you should never be too busy to center yourself. You should never be too busy to write down everything that's going on, everything that you have to do, and to take some time to prioritize, to reprioritize, to assess, to plan, to schedule. You may think you've got it all under control. You may think in your mind is the only place that is absolutely required for these tasks and their deadlines to exist. Allow me, the repentant me, to assure you that the better recommendation, the better method, I believe, is to write it down. Because as I've written in the description of this episode, the why doesn't exactly matter. Is it invalid? Was I just, kicking rocks and wasting time? No. I was actively working. I was actively working, and the reason does not matter as much as the fact that this likely would not have happened if I was tracking it more accurately. And so I want to bring to y'all's attention some of the greats. Like someone like Jim Rohn or Steve Harvey or Simon Sinek. Is it Sinek or is it Simon Sinek? However he pronounces his last name. I should look that up. He's one of my favorite speakers anyway. None of those big names that I've mentioned are people who just walk around thinking that they'll remember everything. This is the reason why I can speak on this with confidence, is because I know for such accomplished individuals as they are, they make a habit out of writing things down. Whether it's, it doesn't necessarily have to be something like their daily schedule, like someone like myself could have used this week, but writing things down as far as goals, dreams, priorities, which then, as you make that more of a habit, it bleeds into things like your schedule, which then makes you all around a more accurate person, someone who executes with pinpoint precision, we'll call it. It's not that you never make mistakes. It's more so that you are less likely than the other guy to slip up or to forget or, to just not show up at all. And in a world, even though we don't prefer it this way all the time necessarily, but in a world of pure competition, I'm talking mainly to those of you who have a job or who run a business or who, depending on the school you're going to, or who are in school. You are in a competitive scene. And mind you, I am not saying that the only thing that matters is being better than other people. No. And I am most certainly not promoting putting your foot on someone else's neck in order to elevate yourself. Never. However, I am promoting being as excellent a performer or an employee or a business owner or a husband or a wife or a father or a son or daughter, being as excellent a fill in the blank as you possibly can. Ladies and gentlemen, it starts in the mind. It starts with how you think. Today, one of the things that I was doing earlier was sharing one of my prepared keynote speeches with a fellow business owner / speaker. Great friend of mine. We recently met and connected at the Next Level Speakers Academy conference. His name is Dupre. Spelt Dupre with an accent and another E. It is not Dupree, by the way. It's Dupre. Anyway, really amazing speaker, great guy, big heart, and he took the time out of his busy day to allow me to bounce ideas off of him and present him my keynote for him to critique. And one of the main themes of my keynote was the how pivotal it is to be open to a shifting of your mindset so that you can see a shift in your situation, in your physical reality. Here's a better way of putting that. Before every physical breakthrough, there must come a mental or spiritual breakthrough. I believe I can safely coin that as a law of life. Think to yourself of any sort of hero's journey where the main character is undergoing a training arc and he's doing push-ups or, carrying a bunch of water jars up a mountain. What do they also show you in that? It's not just that his masters training his body or her body. The main character is then shown maybe somewhere sitting under a waterfall with water falling on them and their eyes closed and their hands clasped at their abdomen as they sit crisscross, applesauce, and they are meditating. Why? It's not necessarily something that is going to strengthen your body as much as arduous physical labor is going to do, so it's not really for the physical benefit. It's actually to learn to quiet their mind, to strengthen their mentality, their mental fortitude. And then inevitably, when they're doing that, even though they don't understand, why am I doing all this? I should be learning the best moves. No. You should be creating a strong foundation. And a part of having a strong foundation as a martial artist, as an employer, as an employee, as a business owner, as a pastor, or as a judge or lawyer, police officer, whatever it is to have a strong foundation. And having a strong foundation as a person starts with how you think. The example I took in that same keynote speech was the example of Roger Bannister, the first person to ever break the 4-minute mile. That did not happen because he was a genetic freak of nature and was somehow, with his hamstrings and his Achilles tendons and the way his legs worked, he was just taking longer strides. No. He literally just went at this race with minimal training, by the way, compared to all the other Olympic athletes. He was actually a doctor in training. He went at this race with the mindset of, it is possible for me. Let me see how far I can push myself. He didn't place the blame on anyone else. He didn't use excuses about anything else, which, by the way, is just you giving whatever it is or whoever it is the power to change your life. So that's a cheat code right there. The moment you take on the blame, the moment you take on, not necessarily doesn't have to be the blame, but at the very least, responsibility. I think Tim Ross had said it like this. The situation may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility because it's about your life. The moment you start taking responsibility, that's the day you take the reins of your own transformation. That's the day your mind shifts. That's the day you have a mental breakthrough. It starts with how you think, and it continues in what you say, how you speak. Are you speaking life into your future, or are you robbing the future you of the basic necessities that your mind, your spirit, your will and emotions need to survive? Because words have power. Clear example. Listen to me as clearly as you can right now. Lean in, lean in. If I tell you, and I'm not going to be super harsh or anything, but I'm going to say something negative. And I want you to listen, but I don't want you to accept it for yourself, because this is an example. If I were to look at you and you told me that you want to start a business, and I said, you can, but with the market right now, in your niche, I don't see it succeeding. I don't think this is a great time. I think if you do this now, you're going to fail. Now, is the likelihood of failure high? Maybe. I don't know. It could be. Even if it absolutely is. If you feel called to that, if you feel that now's the time, you cannot wait any longer. Your dreams cannot wait any longer. The people depending on you cannot wait any longer. And you know you've been stalling, because only you could know that. Then my words are robbing your future should you let them in. Or even worse, repeat them to yourself. But now let's flip it. If I look at you and I hear that you're wanting to start a business in a particular niche, and I say, hey, you know me, I'm a realist. Right now, the market ain't looking the best for that kind of stuff. That's what I know. But here's also something I know. I know that you're someone that comes through when they decide they're going to do something. I know that you're someone that is dependable when things get rough. I know that you're someone that loves to serve people. And guess what? Serving people is kind of profitable. So I know by that fact that you will be successful. Whether it's in this first venture or your third venture. Because, there are actual legitimate statistics on this kind of stuff. But irregardless, if anybody has a chance to succeed on their first one, I believe you can. This is not a waste of your time. And I'm honored that you would trust me with the sharing of this vision. I believe in you. And if there's anything I can do with my meager amount of knowledge to support you, man, or my friend, then please let me know. See, those right there are words that breathe life into the vision. So especially as it concerns words, how you speak, or how somebody else speaks, and how you allow them to speak around you, or to you, or over you, or into you. Please be careful about what seeds are going into the soil of your mind through words. Be careful of that. And lastly, your mind, your speech, and your living. Don't be the person that crashes and burns over and over because of cognitive dissonance. And by that I mean, what you think, A, you speak, A, you tell other people, A, but how you're living is actually G. How you're living is actually C, D, E, but it's not A. Don't let what's going on in your mind be different from what you are putting out into the world through your body. I'm talking about your habits. I'm talking about the reflection of your character in other people's lives. Is what you say reflected in how you act? When it isn't, your mind can never truly be at peace. You're unregulated at that point, unbalanced. So guys, let's try and fix that, shall we? Because I know for a fact that when I'm unregulated and I'm unbalanced in that way, and I say and think one thing, but then I do another, I don't think very highly of myself after that. So I encourage you to take hold of the fact that you have the power to change that. You have the authority. Because, well, let me not kid you. I've got some bad news real quick. The one thing standing in your way as it concerns all of this revolutionizing of your life is the most dangerous, most difficult thing that you have to face or will ever face again and again and again, because it does come back. It does come back to life. And you have to face it again and again and again. And sadly, this is not something that God can just override for you. This is a foe you must face. Now, here's some good news. Even when nobody else can override this for you, guess what's also true? The only person that can override it is you. This foe, this enemy that keeps coming back, guys, it's that dark side of yourself. It's your own will. It is your own flesh fighting against the good that you want to do, the good that you want to be. Only you have the power, and therefore only you have the responsibility to keep that in check. When you kill it in the area of your relationships, it may want to revive in the area of your finances. Be vigilant. When you slay it in your money, it might want to rear its ugly head in how you spend your time. When you gain control over your time, it's definitely going to go for your relationship with God. Don't let it have a single thing. Give it an inch. It'll take a mile. So I hope that this has been fruitful for you. I pray that it's been helpful and encouraging to many of you who perhaps just needed some life spoken into them this Friday. Well, it is 11:59 on Friday, the 21st of June. I'm still counting it on as Friday, though. So y'all can't stop me. That's it. I'm doing it. It's over. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. And I pray that you take this with you, not only to benefit you, but to also benefit those around you, to benefit your family, your loved ones, your friends, and any random stranger that is needing an uplifting of their souls. I pray that they get it from you, because it'll be just as sweet as if they got it from me. That's why you're here anyway. We share these same values and thoughts. And if we don't, maybe consider adopting them. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Don't forget, let your excuses die so you can fly. And you do that by thinking as, speaking as, and eventually living as the true you. Thanks for listening. Hi friends, Jason here. I want to thank you again for your time investment of listening till the end. It seriously means a lot, and I would further appreciate knowing what you think about the show through either the like button or your own comments and DMs about what impacted you the most in this particular episode or in any other. The point is, I don't want you to be shy about taking the step to communicate all that. Lastly, I invite you to stay connected to this life-giving community by following or subscribing on whichever platform you prefer to watch or listen. You'll also find more nuggets of gold sprinkled here and there by looking up @JasonPF_TRU-U on all socials. Again, that's JASONPF_TRU-U. Let's learn to think, speak, and live as our true selves together.